Welcome everybody back to another Sunday podcast on macro crypto. Thank you guys for joining me. It's Shane
and Ryan. Let's go, baby. Episode number three.
Let's go. Losing count over here, but
you know the one last week, your boy was in a haze, coming out of the depths of a sickness undisclosed. No one knows what it is. I didn't get tested, but we all know what it probably was. But the boy's feeling great now.
That's good to hear, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you beat it.
Beat it. Like we're gonna beat this bear market FUD.
Yeah, it's it's not looking great, but we had a little bit of green the last 24, 48 hours, so
looking good. We got probably the first green on the Heikenhashi candles.
Yeah, which I'm showing a little bit on Heikenhashi candles on a weekly basis through some of my videos that I'm producing, and we'll throw them up on the Twitter page too. But as soon as we do get it green on there, we'll show it. It's guaranteed.
Love it. That's what I like to see and hear is the green candle.
Yeah, so I mean, talking about a little bit into once you start seeing green, but also DCNA your way in,
right?
And a lot of people talk about buying the dip, but in reality, if you found a project that you love and you absolutely are in it for the long term, what in your mind and in your opinion, what is the better option between DCN being dollar cost averaging in the same amount of money, either monthly or weekly, or trying to overload at certain parts where you think there's a dip and putting more money in at those points? Like, what's your opinion on how to handle going through and investing your money?
Yeah. I think, it depends on the kind of your overall market awareness. I feel like, if you're new to the markets, you might not know some of the patterns and some of the ways these charts can break down. But essentially, I feel like if you can, just avoid buying the top. Like, things are going to correct. We've seen it so many times. Sometimes things just pump and pump and pump, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Axie Infinity, right? That chart. If I would have held my Axie longer than I did, I would have sold it 10 times over before it got to the top. And if somebody was like, "Hey Ryan, should I buy Axie at $50?" I would have said, "Hell no!" And it did a 3x from there. So no one really knows on all these, but I think just avoiding buying something mid pump is rule number one.
The FOMO.
Yeah. The FOMO.
How many times have we FOMO'd?
We've done it a lot. And that's why we're able
I wouldn't say a lot. I would just say we've definitely done it a couple times where...
I mean, yeah. I've been able to look back at 2017, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
that's the thing.
Remember Zcash? Remember the Zcash buy?
But Zcash wasn't even the worst of them all.
No. The worst was the
Tron-Illusion.
Nobody likes Tron.
So just to pinpoint on everything, like FOMO, fear of missing out, I think I'm going to throw this out on a Twitter page, Twitter feed. It's just that FOMO is the easiest way to lose money.
Absolutely. Yeah. FOMO, but also just the fear of seeing, after you FOMO in, seeing the price dipping and then selling. It's like, and then the price goes up a little bit and you buy back. Like, that's a pattern that people lose money. I've seen those types of posts where people screenshot, a list of transactions. It'll be like 4 transactions, and it'll say like they bought in here on a pump and they sold on the dip. They bought another pump, sold another dip, lost a lot of money real quick.
So basically, what he's trying to get at is that do not, if you feel like you're like, I have to get in. No, you don't. Okay? There's going to be other opportunities, whether that's with NFTs, with other cryptos, like a top project like Bitcoin or Ether, or, your small cap tokens. Like, there's going to be other opportunities. There always is. This market's full of them, chock full of them. So it's your job to do your own research and find projects that, guess what? It hasn't happened yet. This is recommendations here. And then you might, on this channel, get some knowledge where you're going to find something that hasn't hit that FOMO period yet, and you're going to make extreme gains from it. And then you're going to be able to have that opportunity to decide for yourself, like, hey, is this my point of exit? Because you're not going to get that from us saying, hey, exit now.
Time to sell.
No, because that's up to you. And we might give our opinion on saying like this is getting a little overextended,
and we may even give our exit strategy at some point and saying, hey, like this is our general plan of when we are probably going to start selling things and dollar cost averaging out of assets. But like when the time comes, things are probably going to change a little bit depending on different market conditions. But yeah, so essentially I feel like that's like rule number one. Don't buy the pump. Don't FOMO in. If you really like something, you're probably going to be able to get it cheaper in a month.
Unless we're in a complete bull market.
I don't know. I mean, look at Vemp, right?
No, yeah, like for sure. Like, but what I was mentioning though is like, if you really like something, you might be able to get it cheaper in a year and a half. If we're really looking at it that way, but also,
but if we want to make money,
if you really like something, and it's going crazy, then yes, don't jump in and wait a month and let's see where it's trending. But you should look at something like if you're trying to trade something for the short term, 100% do not FOMO in, because you will lose every time. That's on NFT projects. It's you're like, oh, I'm FOMOing. I'm going in. I'm going to be able to list this and sell this in a week. No, you're going to lose majority of the time. You might hit on a few projects, but it's not a formula for success.
Right.
But yes, if you are thinking about long-term holds, then you can dollar cost average your way into something that you believe in, that you want to put your money behind. But if you find yourself like, I got to get in on this project and it's taking a rocket shot while nothing else is, you got to figure out, okay, maybe I should take a step back. Because remember the Metaverse, all of a sudden, every Decentralized, Sandbox, even Vemp was a part of that. Anything and everything that had to do with
Polka City.
Yeah, anything and everything that had to do with the Metaverse. And where are they all back? Where are they at now? They're back at least halfway retracement from where they were.
Right. Yep. Exactly. And you probably like mid pump. If you would have bought it mid pump on most of those, that's where they, like you're saying, that's where it is now. So like if you had bought it then, you'd be even now. And I remember, that day it was pumping. Decentralized was pumping up to like $4. I was thinking like, I want to sell my Decentralized. I think it's going to correct for me, And I've started to get kind of this intuitive thing of just like seeing the charts for long enough. I'm like, oh, you know what? Like this looks like where I often see it pull back, and like just these patterns that reemerge.
Yeah.
But it's all just a lot of guesswork. Even if I don't know a ton about technical analysis, like what's my strategy? Because I'm gonna have certain numbers in my mind, but it's also just go off a little bit of the feeling of like, you know what? I think this is gonna pull back at some point, and this looks like where it might be.
For sure, and that's where I think where we've gained a lot of knowledge through figuring out that jumping into something just because there's so much excitement and we have that fear of missing out on for ourselves, it doesn't get you anywhere.
Right.
It doesn't. And, that project's still going to be around. And if it's not, then you really messed up. But long-term thing is, if you find yourself in a project, you FOMO'd in, and then like you mentioned earlier, then you're selling, then you're really hurting yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And, that's where like the conviction comes in. It's like, oh, I bought high. Okay. Like, and then it dips. If you really have conviction in a project and you're doing your research, DYOR, you're doing your own research and you really like a project. And
do you always do DYOR, Ryan?
Not always, but I feel like I do enough where I look at the Discord and I see what's the community like.
Yeah.
What kind of vibe is in that Discord? Is it just people talking about pumping the price action? Is that all they're talking about? Probably not a good project, right? Are they talking about the fundamentals behind the project? Are they talking about like, dude, we're going to take over the Metaverse. We're doing this, we're doing that. All the cool things, and like the team making a bunch of announcements. Is that happening? Then I'd feel a lot better about it.
Yeah.
Do I always read all the Medium articles and the white paper? No, I'll be honest. I don't always do that. But I do
But if
like
we
to,
invest, if for me, if we are investing a good amount of money of our portfolio into something, better believe doing a deep dive into, the medium or the like at least the light paper
right.
of their white paper, smaller synopsis of everything, but to give yourself an idea of what you're getting into. And I mean, the doing your own research is, you hear it so often, but like it's hard to take that and actually put it to action. And I can't say that enough, because if you actually start doing it more and more often, you're going to learn more about the space. And from your own mistakes that you make along the way, you're going to benefit for more success, because you're going to learn from, hey, I went into this project believing in something. It didn't work out for me this time, but these things are the things I don't want to look at, or these are the things I don't want a project to,
Right.
like you mentioned, like if everyone's just talking about price action all
Mm-hmm.
the time, where is this project really going to be down the line? All of these people just want price action, and when they get it, what are those people going to do?
All gonna sell.
And you're going to be left holding the bag. And if you hear people, especially whether it's Twitter or on YouTube, and you hear even influencers talking about it, stay the F away.
Yeah.
I can't reiterate it enough. So many people are going to be left holding the bag that got in late. Then they're pushing that to go up for a reason. It's not to be there at the end of the day.
Right.
I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. And, I feel like that's, not entirely the picture, but like to an extent, like that's any form of money, right? Is like there's people getting in, and it's a little bit of appearance, right? With whether it's the US dollar,
Project.
whether it's, seashells, whether, whatever we're using for money, is like the people that get in earlier are going to shill their monetary system to everyone else because they already have some.
Yeah.
But where it gets messed up is like with some of these other ones where it's like someone just can't wait to dump all their seashells on the market. They know it doesn't have any value. As opposed to Bitcoin, people that are holding a ton of Bitcoin, they are maybe shilling it because they understand the value and they know they're going to continue to hold. They don't ever want to sell all their Bitcoin.
Well, I think that's where you can see that along with any project, whether that's Bitcoin, or we talk about into the NFT space, and you're talking about Neo Tokyo, where people believe in the project so much, and it's such a wide range thing of talking about Bitcoin and going to something as small as Neo Tokyo, but all of those things kind of hold that same idea of being with the community, because at the end of the day, that's all everything is. Bitcoin is a community.
Yeah.
Ethereum is a community. Cardano, Polkadot, and then it goes down into the NFTs. Neo Tokyo, Bored Ape Yacht Club. They're all communities working together to, for a specific goal. Now the goals are separate, but everything in there is community based and driving a project for success.
Yeah.
And all I'm saying, and what we're trying to say, is that projects that focus solely on price, in my opinion, and I'm guessing your opinion as well, is that they're not going to survive long term for you as a macro outlook.
Right.
They might get you in a good position, for a short term, or they could also just dump on you in a short term. Who knows, really? But you're not going to find a lot of success doing that over and over, rinsing and repeating. Because typically, if you're trying to jump into something that's already also FOMOing, and it's all about just price action, not a good recipe for success, just in my opinion.
Absolutely. I agree. And, that's one really cool thing that I like about what I hear out of certain NFT projects that I get involved in is like, I've sold all my Angry Apes, the Angry Ape Army.
Yeah.
But there was an NFT project I was in, and, there was a AMA I was listening to, and a lot of the people in the community are like, hey, like, what are you guys going to do to make the price go up? What sort of marketing are you guys going to do? Blah, blah, blah. And a lot of people concerned about price. And like, hey guys, like, this is all organic so far. We're not worried about price. Like, we think it's going to go up and continue to grow by itself. And then we do have a marketing budget, like when we get closer to releasing the game, blah, blah. But, so it was cool to hear that.
Yeah.
For other reasons, I decided I wanted to be out of that project. But, I hear the same thing from Neo Tokyo. Alex Becker talks about, guys, price doesn't matter. Like, stop thinking about this as in terms of how much can I sell my Neo Tokyo Citizen 1 for. It's like, you're part of a community of some of the smartest people in the crypto space all together in this Discord, whatever the forum is that they end up building. Like, that's what they're really building. Like, this like secret society of people coming together.
Yeah. So yeah, and I think that kind of leads into a great other kind of topic of conversation, and a good point to take from this is that if you're going to dive into a project, you should be diving into it, and especially if you're putting your money towards that project, something that you truly believe, especially in the NFT space, where you're like, hey, I want to be a part of this community long term.
Mm-hmm.
If you go into it, you're like, oh, because Joe over here was flipping and making profits all over the place with NFTs, and you don't know how to do that. Not to say that there isn't a market for success with that, but if you don't, and you just think that anybody and everybody jumps in and you're gonna have success, you're in for a rude awakening.
Yeah, well, and you might be in for a really rude awakening. You might make some money. You might get lucky. But then we've talked about this a little bit in the past where you might make some money, but then now your foundation is built on some bad strategies that are going to lose you money in the long run. It's like making money in gambling.
You think you're successful and you're on a hot streak,
yeah.
And I'm just going to win all day, every day. Keep it churning. Keep it going until it's not.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you start hitting the other side of it, and you start losing on your picks.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, okay, I need to gain this back. I once was here. Now I'm back here. Let me get it back. And then you start like compounding your mistakes.
Yeah.
And make them even worse.
Absolutely. But I will say, on the flip side of all this is, there are ways to make a lot of money flipping NFTs. And there's ways to be really calculated in how you're deciding which projects to invest in.
You got to be early in a lot of them.
Yep, absolutely.
You have to be early. You have to take chances as well if you're trying to go after projects. But being early, in my opinion, is by far the number one thing that's going to get you in a position if that's something you want to do. It's not something I truly am behind. I have definitely got into NFTs or trying to, being part of communities. But where I'm finding the best success is where the communities are really keen on where, that NFT, or even if we're talking about cryptocurrencies, where that project is headed for the future. What's the end goal here?
Right.
If we're all worried about price action, how can I get out?
Yeah.
Where's the nearest exit?
Absolutely. So, price go up. Okay, let me cash out.
Yeah.
At least get my initial investment and some profits out and ride it to the moon. But yeah, something I've been really interested in lately, of course, NFTs, but is crypto gaming.
Okay.
Really learning more about what this whole trend is and the play to earn model. So, I've kind of had my eyes open to it a little bit with Neo Tokyo and different things. And, the way Axie Infinity runs, it's like, I think right now, somebody who has Axie Infinity NFTs and all the characters and everything, they can play the game and earn about $50 per day, with whatever Axie Infinity NFT set. So I know there's people out there who have a shit ton of these NFTs and they're investing in all these NFTs, and then they're renting those NFTs out inside of the Axie Infinity game to let other people play for them. But they're just making the initial investment and saying, here, you go play. And then they just get a portion of that $50. There was a whale chat that I was in, and this guy's talking about how he's making $80,000 per day with all his Axie Infinity investment. And that to me is like just seeing, okay, like there is definitely money to be made. Like he probably has
buku dollars in it.
Probably over $1 million invested. Probably
You're making 80,000 a day. There's a good chance that you have quite a few
absolutely
dollars.
Yeah, and you know, if he's been doing it for a long time, he might have really good characters. You know, that have all really done really well. Anyway, but I feel like that with this play to earn model, this whole gaming future that I've been hearing about, I feel like I'm starting to understand a little bit more and more that, you know, there really is a lot of money in the space to be made just by playing these video games or by investing in it and then renting out so other people play the video game with those NFTs.
Yeah, and I think that's such a hot topic as well because play to earn is so new for the space itself. But also there's like I've seen there's been a little pushback that there's a lot of people that also don't want that. You know, they don't want to have a certain NFT to be able to play. You know, and it's almost like you know, it's not technically a pay to play, but in order to really strive to be better at the game, you know, if you've had inroads already in there, you're already building yourself up. So if you're new, you're starting at the ground floor, which should be, but also that type of system's not for everybody.
Right.
You know,
but you know, are those people just they want to be able to get paid but not have to make any investment?
Oh, I mean, if they're looking at for that, then no, like that's just,
you know,
off the wall, like
this is like
crazy. But I'm saying like for somebody that just wants to play for fun, then yeah, there's going to be other games for that then.
Well, and if you want to go play for fun, play Xbox, play, you know, Oculus, because those games are way better, infinitely better than anything on the blockchain right now.
The blockchain will catch up one day.
It will, but I'm saying, you know, for if you just want to play for fun, like quality games, way better everywhere else than it is on the internet.
And I will say, if you're looking at play to earn too, you got to make sure that you're looking at the team behind it too. Like if you look at the Wolf game, that's just going crazy, right?
Is it?
It's I think for one of their sheep, it's 1.7 ETH right now, where it used to be. I remember seeing it at like 0.25.
Did it probably mint at 0.1?
Oh, I think it minted. It's been around for a while. I didn't get in at the very beginning at all, and I'm not in right now actually either. But I did start doing Gold Hunt.
Yeah. And are you still in that game?
I am, but it's having a little trouble right now just because of gas fees. And I think like Wolf Game having such an early start, also kind of everybody's in it, and it's not slowing down for anybody. And where the Gold Hunt game is considering migrating to Polygon. So the play to earn aspect of it's going to be on Polygon, and then all the NFTs are going to be on Ethereum still.
Interesting.
Layer
one. They'll be able to bridge the NFT over into the game from network to network.
I'm not sure how that's going to operate, but it's very similar like Ether works. I haven't played that or heard of that, but that's their mechanics are going to be very similar.
Yeah. So
it's interesting that like, okay, to be able to play, then the gas fees are going to be super cheap on the layer 2. Right. And then, but all the NFTs where everybody loves is basically on layer 1.
Yep.
No one wants, you know, the
Polygon NFTs.
No, you want layer 1.
Stepchild.
Exactly. You want the Ether layer 1 NFTs. And it's, to me, you know, the play to earn, it's not an easy thing right now because of the gas fee.
Absolutely.
You're like, I have paid so much just for changing, staking, and different things just to be a part of that right now and get to a position where I'm earning things. And right now, I'm not even earning enough to recoup those. Yeah. So I think figuring out, and especially on the dev side, that team is actually working really hard. I will say that every time I'm in their Discord, listening to see what they're trying to accomplish and their goal that they're working towards is like, I have to applaud them for at least like listening to the community and trying different things to put the, you know, that game and that platform in a position to be successful. It's just right now the gas fees are just crazy.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's surprising to me that anybody tried deploying a game on the Ethereum network within the last 6 months to a year. gas fees have just been so high for so long.
You're paying a premium for innovation right now.
You know,
it comes down to.
And it's like, I think maybe Axie Infinity had enough adoption that they were able to move to, I think, their own blockchain, you know, when they did that. But it might be a side chain. I forget what it is with them. But, you know, I just feel like no game is going to survive on the Ethereum mainnet until after we see what happens with ETH 2.0.
Yeah.
And that's who knows how far away.
Yeah, Metallic stock, like, even in length, that like it could be like a 6-year run to get everything taken care of.
6-year run to launch ETH 2.0?
No, not launch, but just when it's all said and done.
Okay.
Like, because basically, you know, that's why layer 2 pushes are so important. And you also look at, like, you know, Cardano or Polkadot. I think that's also why it's those type of networks also they saw what Ether was having issues with. And that's why Cardano technically has 2 different chains. One's a payment chain and the other's a smart contract chain. So one's not congesting the other.
Right.
And then with Polkadot, you can't just build anything and everything on the Polkadot network. You can do that with Kusama. But then if everybody loves what's being built on Kusama, then they can make it to Polkadot through a parachain auction.
Well, the parachain auctions exist on Kusama as well.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Well, regardless, all that really truly means is also they have a decision on what can go on there, like the community does.
Yeah.
And that way things aren't congesting. And if something's no longer being used, it can also be kicked off the network.
Right.
So that way things aren't just on there, just congestion, causing havoc. And it's a truly more of a possibility that lower fees are available for everybody.
Right.
But that's where Ether and Ethereum, the Ethereum network, is trying to do that with layer 2s and build that ETH 2.0 out. And they also have that, you know, first mover effect where these other chains are chasing them right now, but it's kind of that competition to see, okay, hey, who's got the better network here, but also who's going to have the most users at the end of the day.
Yep. Right. And, you know, at the end of the day, is in terms of smart contract platforms, Ethereum is the granddaddy. He's running the game.
There's no question. If you I'll say something. Go down that route. Like, if you honestly,
don't talk about Cardano. Cardano sucks.
No, honestly, like I go back and forth with Cardano. I really do. I think it's just because Charles Hawkinson is such a polarizing figure. It's very easy to pick a fight with Cardano once in a while, but the Cardano army is just they come out in droves.
I haven't experienced it as of late. Is it still as fierce as it's ever been?
Well, let me put it this way. Vitalik put a poll out and said if it was, he put some year out into the future between Bitcoin, and there was 2 other chains. I can't even remember because it didn't even matter in comparison to, and then the Solana was on there and Cardano. Polkadot didn't make the list. Weird. I think he was trolling. In my opinion, I think this is what he's doing this because he's proven a point that it's ridiculous that people are doing this. In the poll, out of those listed currency or those listed cryptos, which one would you want to be using if Ethereum was no longer available for you to choose from, basically? Like, what network would you want to use as a blockchain?
It was Bitcoin, Cardano, Solana.
Solana, and another one.
Okay.
Cardano won.
By how much?
They had like 43%. I think Bitcoin had like 38%. And then Solana had a certain percentage too.
I will say that vote is probably a little biased because the Bitcoin maxis didn't probably get their fair share of expressing themselves.
I don't even know. That doesn't make sense.
They don't all follow Vitalik.
I agree. But at the same time, though, what are all the ADA followers? They're all following Vitalik? Like,
probably.
Yeah, smart contract community. Everyone's against Bitcoin.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, when you're the granddaddy and you're the king, exactly. Everybody's running for you.
Everyone's after.
But regardless, it just that surprised me a lot in the sense that, like, you would truly pick a chain that's not currently even viable in comparison to the other chains. And
I
everyone
will say, against Solana, I would choose Cardano.
100%.
And then I don't know what the other one was. Maybe Avalanche or...
No, Avalanche didn't make it on there. They did a second one too, and he had a second poll. This is where I think he was trolling, like almost like in some way trying to prove a point. Because guess who won the second poll? There was trash on the second poll, anyways. Just if you can take a wild guess of who won over 50% of the listed tokens.
Polkadot?
No, Tron.
Oh, he's trolling. He's got to be trolling.
Has to.
I mean, so Polkadot wasn't even on any of the votes?
No.
Oh, yeah. There's something weird about that. That's really interesting.
That's why, because Dot would have made it, because Dot's building interoperability through Ethereum. Like, that's a huge main goal, is for those two ecosystems to survive together. Yeah. It's like almost Ethereum is going to be anybody and everybody's playground, and enjoy it, build it, innovate. And it's almost like Polkadot's almost like a private chain, where, you know, it's like the cream of the crop. I'm not saying, because obviously cream of the crop is built on Ethereum. I'm saying like it's more like it's very select. It's classy over here.
It is. But you know, and for everybody who wants to understand this more, Ryan's gonna be putting out a Polkadot video this week. So it was gonna come out last week.
Stop.
The voice was the cough, the lungs. You know, it was tough to get a full video out.
We've heard this before.
So it's coming out, and you'll get to understand Polkadot to a little bit more of an extent. But
everyone will believe it when they see it.
Yeah, you know it's coming, and it's hot. It's well worth the wait. But what I will say is the Polkadot, you know, it's building. It's this layer 0 basically, right? And then it's got all these layer 1s, and those aren't select. So really, anybody can build on Polkadot, but it's not directly on it.
Yeah. So it's basically just saying that because in order to get on there, it's very similar to like how Unique is trying to then get onto the Polkadot through a parachain live auction. Like I think number 3 will be coming up. And just to kind of hit on that is like the Unique network will then allow people to build on top of Unique for marketplaces like OpenSea,
right?
Where people can then trade and stuff on the NFTs, and that thing is just buildable, where it's nonstop, and who knows what can happen to that. But in order for Unique to get there, it has to be voted on by the Polkadot community. And then all of a sudden it gets on and it ain't doing anything. They can also get voted off the island too.
Yep.
But
that's what I'm really interested to see. You know, like what about, let's say Unique builds this huge ecosystem, but then like a new project comes along in a year or whenever their slot auction is up.
Yeah.
And slot term is up, and then they get voted off. What happens to Unique and everything that was built on top of it?
Well, but that's the thing though. If someone's like not using it,
yeah. But I mean,
then it goes on to the Kusama, the Wild Child network. It's not gone forever, because it's still Quartz. It would be over there on Kusama.
But that's a different ecosystem, different money. That's not the.
It is.
You know, it's interesting questions to be answered.
It is. If you have them on, are those answers going to be in the video?
You know, we're not going to go that deep in the first video. Listen,
is that a little bit over the scope for
it's over
for
the
us?
Scope. It's absolutely over the scope. You know,
or out of scope? Is it over the scope or out of scope?
You know, I think we're thinking about the big questions that we don't have the answers to yet.
No.
But there's the basics, the fundamentals that our audience.
For sure. And that kind of also drives me into an awesome video that I will be dropping is the.
We'll see about that.
Yeah.
When's the last time you dropped a video?
I've dropped 4 this last week.
Oh, just 4 in the last week. 4 out of 7. Barely over 50%.
Regardless, 50%. It's going over the first NFTs on the Polkadot ecosystem.
Oh, you know, I don't know if you saw my Discord image. My guy.
You changed it, huh?
I got a real image from my Discord.
Dude, I'm just saying, like, if you're a firm believer in that ecosystem, you have an idea that there's a chance that it's gonna be whatever you like, you know, that's gonna be this huge, massive project that is gonna be this platform that's gonna be successful, and there's gonna be amounts of users all over the place. Why aren't you holding these NFTs?
Mm-hmm.
It makes
to be fair, I am. He's not. This is
no. This is for everybody else that you come across it. And in this video, I'm gonna honestly you know how confusing it was setting up a wallet on there.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go step by step for everybody, so that way you can
so they
follow.
can jump in.
Yeah, and you can just be like, okay, hey, I'm going after this, because you're gonna be. When we go over why these NFTs are special, then you're gonna want to be a part of that.
Do we want to go real briefly into what these NFTs are, so people aren't in limbo, wondering what we're talking about?
No, they're in limbo.
All
Keeping it all the way until the video. If you've made it this far, who knows? If there's just that one person that gets to this part of that video and it's like, gosh, when are these videos coming out? I gotta tune in.
Don't worry, both of them coming out this week.
Or somebody all of a sudden comes across this video 2 months down the line. I came late to the party.
Late to the party.
And they came across this video and they've made it all the way through, and they're like,
they're gonna go look, and instead of 2 KSM per NFT, there's gonna be 200 KSM.
well, dude, you're giving away stuff, man.
Oops. Little sneak peek. Dropping some alpha for you guys.
No, that is my alpha that I will be dropping. And that's going to be in the title of the video.
Hey, quit being a punk.
We're changing subjects here. You're ruining things so much for me right now. Cut. We need to restart this video.
Guys,
we're editing
we'll
that
hit
out.
there a little
100%.
bit.
Okay.
Just a little
Look,
bleep.
let's go get away from Polkadot. We're going back to the Ethereum network.
Back to Ethereum.
Okay.
Like it.
And
Same place.
this is what we need to chat about, because we are both knee deep, probably hip deep, maybe even up to the neck deep in Journey, the NFT.
Absolutely.
And so what, honestly, do you hope to get out from the project? Is my question to you for everyone that's listening, because since you're so deep into it, full disclosure, currently an elite Voyager.
Is it elite? I thought it was
Epic?
Epic, yeah.
Oh, Epic Voyager.
Yep.
And I'm currently rare,
Mm-hmm.
but I think once this video drops, there's a good chance I will also be Epic.
And then we could join forces
And be legendary?
Legendary.
Oh my god.
So for you guys to understand what we're talking about, I know this is all gibberish if you aren't in the JRNY Discord. So JRNY, Journey, big YouTuber, over 500,000 subscribers, dropped an NFT project recently. The NFT project minted for 1 ETH. So each NFT was 1 ETH for people on the whitelist. If you weren't on the whitelist and you didn't get one.
Freaking Dutch auction.
The Dutch auction that took the entire day starts at 3 ETH.
I didn't take my eyes off the computer.
Yeah.
They were straining. I know you were.
Oh, I was doing the same thing, yeah.
You were the only reason I started looking into the project in the first place.
You're
And
welcome.
now,
You're welcome.
yeah, now I'm swimming.
Women. So yeah, Dutch auction anyway, it starts off 3 ETH and then it slowly goes down until either they sell out or it gets to a certain point, which is down back down
And
to 1
can
ETH.
we applaud the community for
amazing.
holding strong all the way down to, what was it, 1.15?
I don't know if it ever got that low. I think I want to say like it got to 1.3-ish and the race started.
That may be true, yeah. But
You know, and that was when it went
Regardless-
from like 6,000, 10,000 in within less than 5 minutes.
I honestly, to get that low from 3 ETH, I was
Amazing.
amazing. Just that community to hold strong,
Holding the line.
hold the line, hold that.
Yeah, so we get these NFTs probably somewhere around 1.3
Yeah.
ETH average. So we buy these NFTs. I had initially bought, I believe, 4, and you thought I was a little crazy.
Yeah, I just bought one at
Yeah.
first.
You thought I was a little crazy, folks. But then the old man, the grandpa, comes around and he says,
I'm a
"Oh,
little
well, you
bit
know
more
what?
Conservative.
Wise old Ryan might have been onto something, you know."
Do not call you wise.
Yeah.
Like,
So
he's a risk taker.
Now-
That's a better way to put it.
we've at least 2x'd the investment
Yes.
from there.
And I've got in on a couple different things.
Mm-hmm.
My next one was right around just above 1.5.
Yep.
Because when, like you mentioned, it got all the way up to, I think, 2.8.
2.8 that
was a
day.
floor that day.
Could have flipped it for 2x within 1 hour of the mint ending.
And if you're going to really, if you want to dive into projects like that, know that you got a better chance of being successful if you're in a project that there is high gas, like there's a gas war going on, because that means so many people are trying to get into it. And also looking at the Discord, how many people are in there also fighting for that NFT? Because if you are having a Discord that has less or right around or just barely over the amount of NFTs that are going to be dropping, you know, unless you really love the project, you're not going to be in there just to flip it. But if you're getting a chance that all of a sudden there's just crazy amount of people that are wanting to be a part of this, it's a good chance you might be able to purchase it, put it up, sell it if that's what you're into. But not us.
Right.
Well, I'm diamond hands in this project right now. Yeah.
If I'd gotten my goal, remember I wanted like 6 or 7 of these. I would have flipped 1 or 2.
Okay.
You know.
Are you flipping them now?
No.
Yeah. I thought.
No,
That's what I thought.
No way.
Dude.
We're holding. Because so the what I'm expecting to get out of this at this point, number 1, passive income. So similar to the Neo Tokyo project, this is speculation for
before
JRNY.
Can you stay on track for a second before you get into this?
What I expected to get out of the project.
But we were talking about the project when it was going up to 2.8 at the floor.
Yeah,
and then how we got in at different parts on the way back up, where it's currently because it went down. Like understand
a little bit.
Yes, because that's where we were, and you took us off. Maybe I did.
I got excited.
I'm not sure, but regardless, it's just talking about the ebbs and flows of the NFTs. That might demonetize us. Of all the money that we're gonna make
have to
from this video.
Out.
Regardless, but I'm just saying, like the ebbs and flows of the market. It's not like it's a continuous exponential growth with these.
Right.
So like going up to 2.8 on that day, then it slowly made its way down to about 1.5.
Yeah, even lower. And I remember like thinking like, how low is this going to go? It probably won't drop below 1, you know.
But that's perfect though. If you are wanting to keep this for a long-term project, because that's getting all those paper hands out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't want those people.
But you know what could be funny is it could just be a lot of these paper hands and newbies all just swapping price up and down, and someone could end up.
Joe, I'm selling my NFT. You want to come by? Yeah, I got you, buddy.
Wasting gas.
Who knows? But regardless, yeah, awesome. Thank you for doing that, paper hands, because that's where I started getting back in at that point at 1.5, just right above that, and then I got in again right below 2.0. So right below 2 ETH, I got in again, and now that's my rare where I'm sitting at,
which is
3.
So the rare
is
roll
3
is 3 NFTs. You hold 3 NFTs in one wallet, you get rare.
And this is all going to tie together in just a second.
Yeah. And then if you hold 5, you're
which
epic.
I will be after this video.
Not yet. Not like me, you know. Soon, maybe.
He wants to get the legendary. He needs me, so he better hope that.
You know, I could liquidate a few things, and you know, we could just get legendary on our own. But anyway, so 10 legendary. Now, what's all that mean?
So go ahead, go back, because now we're on track.
You
can go back to what you were explaining.
Neo Tokyo. We're gonna flip the page over here to Neo Tokyo real quick. The way it works in Neo Tokyo, if you're not aware, Season 1 citizens, the big boys. What they have is they all have I forget what it's called, what the trait is called for each character. Not allocation, but it's something like that. It's how many bytes your NFT earns per day. So,
and how much does a top tier earn?
The highest is 15.
15 what?
Bytes.
And how much is that per day?
Well,
in
one
US
byte
dollar?
is about $100, just under right now.
So then we're talking $1,500 per day.
Per day.
This top tier. And how much does a top tier go on OpenSea?
You know,
right now?
Out of the guys that are getting 15 bytes a day, I don't know if any are for sale.
Well, that would explain it. So if you're getting like that much per day.
Let's do the math real quick. 15 bytes times, let's just say $90, so $1,350. Let's say times 365. That's a cool $492,000 per
But that's
year.
if they have that much, liquidity in there.
That's if the price
liquidity pool.
If the price maintained.
Yes, but regardless, though, is not to say that Journey's going to get to this spot, but the idea that this Stardust,
a very recent announcement within the Discord group
got everyone excited.
That they said,
I got excited.
Stardust is, I don't know. They announced Stardust. They didn't really give details on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a few details. Like you can use Stardust for whitelist spots for the future for other projects to really get yourself into that project if you really love
NFTs
it.
within the group
yes.
wallet.
And then also, like you just said, buying the NFTs, which they got some dope ass NFTs in there. And then I think even more than what they kind of just hinted at, it's going to be, like you mentioned, like more in line with what Neo Tokyo is doing, where this could become something that's tradable.
Yeah.
Like Starbucks.
Talking to the addict over here, he slipped, little Freudian slip right here. Go ahead, give him the free advertising. This guy, man, he could have a fresh pot of coffee in the kitchen, freshly brewed, but he'll drive to Starbucks instead and spend $5 on a coffee.
It's actually $3. That's good.
The exact price. How much is it?
$3.19.
$3.19
every time.
Yeah, that's
used to be $2.24 and it's steadily
inflation. Inflation goes up 7% year over year, but the price went up 33%. Is that?
All right, dude.
Is that what is that? What's going on?
It's astounding.
Yeah.
You want to know it's also going to rise up with inflation? Crypto and NFTs.
That's right, baby.
So get in.
Going to the moon. So back to the journey real quick. Let's finish that, tie a bow on it. So, different roles we suspect are going to earn different amounts of Stardust per day.
Yeah. But, and, so the higher rank you are, the more, obviously, more you're going to earn.
Yep.
Now, where this is going to lead, nobody knows, but I'm taking a chance on it, and I'm putting myself in a position to be successful with it. Mm-hmm. And, guess what? It's still not even near the amount of money that's in part of my other portfolio, but I'm diving deep.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. I think NFT land, you get into good, high quality projects. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
So I will say that then, is that if you are new or even if you're an old head like myself and you've been in this space, and you love a project, and especially if the mint's cheap and you want to get into that and you want to be a part of that community and you want to drive yourself moving forward, get in after it. Or if there's a project you really, really want, but you don't have the funds yet for it, save up for it then. Save up for a project you want to be a part of, or that's going to be successful.
Or just ask mom and dad for some money, get a loan from the bank, sell your car, sell your house. I mean, this is not financial advice, but
we sold our house.
Once upon a time, somebody you're looking at on camera sold their house.
Yeah. We went all in on crypto.
All in.
If you didn't watch the first podcast, we talked about it.
And what it turned out seemed like a great idea for 6 months to a year, and then that was when the bull market peaked, right? And then comes back down. So
I would do it all over again.
Would do it all over again.
Obviously, I would have sold our house at the top of the peak and still been okay. Yeah.
No, I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Like we'd be like
more than doubled.
No, but the housing market's probably doubled since then anyway. So it'd be 6 and one, half dozen the other.
No, I'd rather be owning that small amount of crypto in comparison to what we have now than owning a house in this market.
Yeah, no, I mean, okay, I agree. But I just feel like, if we bought at the top of the market,
it would suck.
It wouldn't be that great of an investment. we would have hated ourselves for 2 years.
What degenerates. We only are not, we're probably still degenerates, but we are in a better position just because we decided to sell earlier in the year.
Yep, that's right.
Going after it.
So, and we say this half joking, half not to, it's not financial advice, but I really think hey, you know what? There's no better investments. If you're smart about it, if you're willing to do research, go in deep and do your own thing.
Watching these videos. We'll give you research. We'll give you guys ideas to look at, and you'll be like, oh my God.
Go look into Neo Tokyo. Go look into JRNY. Join the Discords. Talk to some people. Don't just ape into it.
We're making a Discord. We're going to give some alpha information. So guess what? We'll give you some alpha.
Get in there.
That you can just be like, take to the bank.
Secret surprise for the first 100 members. Secret surprise. So you don't need to know what it is.
Ryan made it. Name.
He loved it. It was the best idea I've had in the last 3 days.
Regardless,
that's saying something.
We're building a community. I don't know where this community is going to go.
The moon.
maybe we just dropped some free NFTs.
Who
Who knows?
We might.
Who knows? I'm not dropping any hints. It doesn't mean that's actually going to happen. You might join this Discord whenever we finally drop it for everybody, and be like, "Where's my NFT?" Nothing's a given. But what is a given is you're going to get some great content that's going to be dropping bombs weekly that you're going to be able to take to the bank, make money, give yourself financial freedom. Who doesn't want that? Who?
Flying like an eagle. Think of freedom.
No one's going to watch this video after they see that. But
I think that's the reason people are going to watch this video. Going viral with that clip.
No, it's not. But regardless, guess what? So we had one Twitter page. I think we'll just let everybody know that you will have a separate one. I'll have a separate one. That way you could get at us both, and we'll just double team Twitter all the way to the bank so that they into submission, so everybody knows where to get their content. And
I like to retweet stuff on there, different projects I'm in, so maybe get some alpha there. Yeah. Follow the Twitter so you can get those retweets, see what we're posting, what we're talking about. Join the Discord, get more alpha. It's all good stuff.
It is 100%, and that's where it's at the end of the day. It's trying to get everyone in a position to be successful with one another. Because why not be in crypto and learn how to get yourself to become successful instead of going against the stock market and going against hedge funds that have buku dollars, and on top of that, years of data to go against you, and you're going to try to compete against that? No. Come to this market and make money, and then let them come to our field and try to play against us.
That's right.
Come play. You ain't gotta do it.
Going to the moon, baby.
Going to the moon. But I think that's it, dude.
Yeah.
I'm driving myself insane right now, just throwing stuff out there. It's looking bad.
No, it's looking good. It's a sign of just funness.
I hate when he's sarcastic.
He loves it. And I know you guys love it too. Now, we didn't say this at the beginning, but we're saying it now. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
If you enjoy the content.
If you like it, you know?
That was me trying to be mean. I'm sorry. I apologize out there.
You guys don't want to see him actually like lose his shit. He'll start punching a punching bag. And I'm his little brother. I saw this growing up. It gets scary. So like the video so he doesn't come beat me.
I don't have anger management. That's a long time ago.
But it's still deep in there somewhere.
But we do appreciate it. Definitely like and subscribe. Come join us on Twitter at Macro Crypto Club. We will be dropping a Discord. Remember, I will be dropping videos guaranteed this week. We will see about him come next Sunday. We'll find out if he dropped any or not. But regardless, you will get some great alpha content from me this week. I guarantee it. I got a little something special that I haven't even told him yet, that I will be happening in one of my videos. Woohoo! Let's get after it, everybody. Have a good rest of your night.